How many of you have last rented a DVD? You all must be recalling that time. So here's another question. How many of you think about an organization that came into being as a result of hate and anger? Hi guys. How many of you can imagine an organization coming into being as a result of anger and hate? Yes, that's correct. I'm talking about an organization that just came into being when its founder was slammed with a late fee when he returned the DVD instead of thorough planning and execution required to make an organization. It's Netflix. I'm going to take you through with me to a very interesting story about this wonderful organization, reasons for its success, what makes it one of the most interesting firms to work in, and how does the management operates with its management control system, and also what could be the possible change its management can consider to make it even better in future. As an organization, Netflix is one of the best in the globe currently. Reed Hastings found this organization back in the 90s with an HR expert, Patty McCord. They started this brainchild with renting out DVDs by email. Anyone could keep the DVD as long as they want, and no late fee will be charged to any of the customers. This really got the attention of the customers, and not only that, but with changing criteria for the movies, people started moving towards monthly subscription that was only provided by Netflix at that time. The other interesting fact about this increasing popularity of Netflix is that it created a rating chart on each of its movies so that people could rate and they could understand the potential liking and disliking of any of its customers regarding movies so that they could understand what the people are really looking for. All these initial steps turned out to be the stepping stone in the success of Netflix. With ever changing market demand, the Netflix launched its own live streaming platform in 2007, which turned out to be one of the most revolutionary things in the movie industry. It gained more popularity with time, and in 2010, Netflix launched a complete streaming platform internationally. Adjusting to the market demand, Netflix kept on earning billions of dollars. Netflix paid their employees above the market rate and with management control practices that are very different to the organizations operating in the market as compared to Netflix. Among these notable practices, few are known as keeper test. 4A feedback, freedom and responsibility, no rules. Though there are more practices that are also being followed, but the practices which I have just mentioned are more notable and famous due to some controversies attached to those. But talking about the keeper test, it's one of the most controversial tests that has been executed by Netflix for retaining or firing employees who are considered to be a burden on the company. This was implemented by the founder Reed Hastings with the coordination of the HR expert Patty McCord. The purpose of this test is to ask a very simple question. If an employee is to leave the organization, should the manager fight to retain him? And same goes for the employee. If he knows that the manager won't fight to retain him, then it's a good time to part ways. In this way, the best possible employees will keep on performing, and it's like the right man for the right job. One of the most interesting stories related to the keeper test is that the one who implemented this in Netflix got fired because of it. Yes, HR expert Patty McCord was fired and had to leave the organization because of this test. Another very interesting aspect of the management control system implemented by the Netflix is the freedom comes with responsibility policy. According to this policy, any employee can take vacation at any point during any year for as long as he wants. But the aspect of part of responsibility in this is very important to understand. You know, there's a term which we usually come across in the normal life that the freedom comes with responsibility. So the responsibility is to be assessed by the concerned employee. If he needs to take a vacation, he can take that at any time, but importantly, the work should not suffer That is why Netflix is known for hiring the best employees who work tirelessly and align their goals as per the organization needs and requirements. No expense policy is also part of this. Any employer who wants to spend as much money as he wants to, he can without any prior approval, as there is no such hierarchy system in the Netflix organization. Though these policies are blurry in a way that may be hard to understand because there are no fixed rules, as we can say in Netflix case that no rules. But interestingly, it depends on the employee how he wants to go about things. Netflix provides them with the opportunity to follow their own timings, their own schedule, whatever they want to work in their own way for the organization, but ensure that the goals and the objectives of the organizations are not compromised. That is where the real issue starts, because the firing of the employees is quite a regular aspect of an organization such as Netflix. Other than the policies, the methods, and modern practices, the most notable negative point that comes to mind is Netflix firing policy. So that the only point that we can recommend to the maybe treated as a recommendation to the organization, Netflix, in short, the percentage of laying off employees is so high compared to other organizations that even its own employees, regardless of their brilliance, face fear of losing their job at any point in their careers. Netflix management may consider this policy to retain employees, and this will give some job stability, which is a missing stone in the Netflix empire.